Oh, I'm so glad you're home. Gail turned to see Ellen hurrying toward her, waving a piece of paper. I want to show you this. Come inside, Gail said, and led the way to her apartment. Ellen followed Gail inside. I don't know what to think of this. She slumped into the love seat just inside the door. I don't know what I should do. Let me see. Gail sat beside her friend. Ellen moved quickly, pulling the dark flowered lounging robe she wore away from touching Gail's pastel yellow uniform as though she was ashamed of it. Gail gave her a questioning look but said nothing, and she took the paper Ellen held out to her. What would make a 13-year-old write something so morbid and so negative? Ellen asked, tears threatening. Gail read the few lines aloud. Last night I had a dream that I could fly like Peter Pan, high in the sky, over the clouds, free in the wind. Then I woke up. I didn't want to wake up because then I knew it was only a dream. I wish I could die. Then I could fly like Peter Pan and go anywhere. See what I mean? Ellen jumped up and snatched the paper from Gail. Why would a child want to commit suicide? Oh, Ellen, I don't think that's what this says. Sandra isn't thinking of committing suicide. She's just connecting her fantasies and dreams with things she knows. She knows Peter Pan is a fantasy, but angels in heaven can fly. How do you get to heaven? You have to die. To her, fantasy and heaven are one and the same. Ellen sat down again, this time ignoring the closeness of her gaudy colored apparel to Gail's sunny outfit. Do you think so? Gail patted Ellen's hand. I don't think you have anything to be concerned about. I'm sure Sandra is thinking more about flying than dying. Don't worry, your girls seem quite okay. Ellen is just recently left her husband. Oh, it's probably me. I'm the one not adjusting. Ellen's head drooped, her shoulders slumped. You haven't been on your own for very long, Gail told her. Changes take time. A feeling of déjà vu swept over Gail, and she remembered a similar conversation several years ago when she had been the one in need of reassurance. Come on, Ellen, she said, standing. Let me walk you home. I'll take a minute to talk to Sandra and to Jamie, but I'm sure they're fine. Gail spent longer at Ellen's than she had anticipated. Her conversation with the girls turned out to be quite enjoyable. Sandra showed Gail the picture she had drawn of Peter Pan. Jamie, who was 15, joined in and showed Gail her unicorn collection. All three talked about how neat it was to dream. The girls were happy, both talking about their school friends and activities. Several times Gail looked up at Ellen, who now was also smiling, the worry lines not so evident on her face. I guess I overreacted, she told Gail when she walked her to the door a little while later. I can't help but think they're struggling like I am. Gail faced Ellen once she had stepped outside. I believe they knew there were problems in your marriage, yet both of them sound as though they're happy to be free of the stress. I am too, most of the time, Ellen told her. In fact, I know we're better off. It's just, I get so lonely. Gail felt a lump rise in her own throat. I know. I don't think that ever goes away. Ellen looked at Gail. You mean you get lonely? Gail smiled slightly, touching Ellen on the arm. At times, but when I feel that way, I stay longer at the nursing home to give some extra care to my patients. Or I read church magazines, especially conference talks, and listen to good music. Most of the time I get down on my knees and talk to Heavenly Father. I want you to know I've shed my share of tears. Ellen looked a little surprised, but only responded pitifully with, but I don't have senior citizens to work with. But, Gail motioned toward the open door behind her, her voice firm but kind, you have 2 lovely daughters. You're lucky. Ellen grimaced sheepishly. I'm sorry. I know I'm lucky. I guess I'm just feeling sorry for myself today. That's okay. Sometimes feeling sorry for yourself is therapeutic as long as it's temporary. Gail patted Ellen's arm and stepped away. She's patting Ellen's arm quite a few times. I hope so. Ellen waved as Gail headed down the sidewalk. Gail took one last glance backward, then with a farewell smile turned toward home. And if you're videoing that, I'll probably glad to back